I mean, really, there's so much in it and there's so much that we're going to be covering that often at the start it feels like, oh my God, there's so much stuff. And it's also different to how most of us have been programmed to learn. We've been programmed to learn, the teacher tells you the correct answer. And if you want to be a sneaky kid, you can look in the back of the book and the answer's in there. But with the mind, it's not like that. So what we do often can be considered a stretch or a challenge at first. So I think we've done a good job of throwing you in the deep end. How do you guys feel? So wouldn't it be lovely if you could go through the next few months having so many learning opportunities, getting so much feedback, so that by the end of this course, you've just grown a whole mile? And then wouldn't that help you be able to establish yourself as a successful coach, perhaps a better coach, trainer, speaker, or whatever you're doing? Chris, anything you'd like to add?
Well, at this stage, I'd like to read a series of sequential journal entries, not of mine, but they'll help set the scene for tonight. Now, I won't tell you where one entry starts and one entry stops. I'll just read them to you, and you can listen and understand later what it is that I've said. I can never get ahead. Every time I try something new, someone comes along and stops me. It started in high school when a teacher told me I was never going to amount to anything, and she was right. I tried to start a business, but the council shut me down. My boss is stressing me out. My wife cheated on me. The world is against me. I've hit rock bottom. Today I saw a post. No one can make you do anything. You have to choose to do it. So I watched a video online about taking control of your own life. I read a book about NLP and have just started another one. I've just started a new business and met someone special. There have been challenges, but each time I'm challenged, I learn more and I adapt. I can be happy. That is my choice. I can live the life that I create. That is my action. Tomorrow is another opportunity for me to choose who I want to be and how I want to create happiness in my life. That's it. Now, I had very little idea what NLP was other than some passing information like Adrian that I had, where it may be something to do with picking up and manipulating people, maybe something to do with sales, but I didn't know. And I always like to find out what I don't know. And so I signed up for an NLP practitioner class, just like all of you. And I went and I started the journey of NLP. And just a little bit like in the Matrix, do you take the red pill or the blue pill? I took the red pill of NLP and have been sucked in to how powerful it is, particularly as you use it on yourself. Completely changed the way that I saw things. When I went to my first NLP class, I didn't think that I had things that I needed to change in myself. Years later, I'm still discovering things that I can do better, be better, relationships that I can improve, and approaches and processes, oh, I love that word, processes that I can adopt to myself that can create more success in just about any aspect that I put my mind to. I say all of that because each and every one of us has a different reason for being here. But as we go through tonight and we start to talk about the epistemology of NLP and how the creators created this, it was more by accident. So whether you're here because of an intention or because of happenstance, the outcome will be similar for all of us.
But I want you to firstly realize what the terminology is. The neuro for the brain, the nervous system and the senses, the neuro networks and the connections all happening up here. Linguistics, the language we use internally for ourselves and externally with others. The programming, because any process that is repeated becomes programmed. Programming, the way we store these. I was quite disturbed what I read on Wikipedia, and having met John Grinder and trained under the creators, they make it very clear what NLP is. It's not a science. These guys were simply figuring out what worked. So the field of NLP is big. You've got the works of several geniuses and the works of extra geniuses that were part of their group. And you could extend that out to maybe 10 people, 20 people, just in the 70s.
Yes, I think it's worth noting, Adrian, that the Wikipedia entry refers to NLP as a pseudoscience of communication models and techniques. NLP never claimed to be about communication techniques. Transformation is the thing that the people who they modeled specialized in. And they modeled these change experts. They created patterns that they could emulate and replicate the effectiveness. Modeling is the core of NLP. Communications is just the framework that they have applied this modeling to. You can take the fundamental principles of modeling excellence and apply that to anyone, anywhere. I think that an important differentiation between what is science and what is NLP is science is the study of averages. What usually happens when something is affected by a force? What usually is the outcome? NLP isn't about what's usual. NLP is about identifying who is unusually good, who is the best, and finding out what it is that they do that makes them the best, identifying those things, emulating and replicating the results. That is what NLP is, and that is what we are going to teach you. The difference that makes the difference. We will be using the fundamental framework that they applied it to of transformation, because that is what they studied, modeled, and were able to replicate the effects of. That is what we will teach you. But it is so much more than that. And as you go on to the master practitioner, trainer, and beyond with your own studies, those are the things that will open your mind to the possibilities of what these core skills can be applied to. Like I said, the domain of NLP, as we will be referencing it, is about representations. And representations are a two-factor consideration. One is what your brain interprets. And the other is how you linguistically process those things. One of the things that we spoke about was that the map is not the territory. Effectively, what we're saying, and what we will continue to say again and again and again, and you will get sick of it, but you will remember it forever and ever and ever, is that the map is not the territory. What I see is not really what I see. It's just what I interpret. As soon as all of these bits of input hit me, my nervous system interprets that. It filters out the unnecessary things, and it only gives me what I need. Reality is hitting me. My brain is interpreting it. And then I'm using language to simplify what I'm experiencing. In NLP terms, we talk about the things that are hitting me, the first access, or F1. The language that I use to explain what is happening to myself, the linguistics that go along with reality, that is F2. That is the second interpretation. The first is neurological, the second is linguistic. Have I absolutely befuddled everyone? No. Winner.
And first access is what comes in. And if you shine the world through an eyeball, it comes out the other side in reverse. So first access gets processed straight away. And as you're first accessing what's in front of you, there's other things missing. As you focus on my voice, you may not hear another voice somewhere else in the house. So first access is limited. And then when we code it and code it again, it can get more distorted.